Hi, this is Charlie giving you Wednesday's video, recording this on Tuesday afternoon. So the question this week is, how much do you want to make from trading? A common question that you get from people. And the way that I go through this with people is to say, well, um, let's do a bottom-up approach, really, because if you say, well, I want to make £3,000 from trading, let's say £3,000 a month from trading, then we can then go up, and if someone says, well, okay, this is how much I'd like to earn from trading, is it realistic? Well, it really all depends on how much capital you're trading with. So if, for example, you've got an account and you've only got £1,000 in your trading account, then is a 200% return in a single month realistic? Well, no. Is it achievable? Yeah, of course, because anyone can put a huge return in with taking big risk, but obviously that could come back and bite you. So let's start again. So if you were looking to make, let's say, £3,000 in a month, what you would do is then say, okay, is that realistic if I had £10,000 in my trading account? Okay, well, that would equal a 30% gain, 30% gain in a single every single month. Again, is it achievable? Yes, but is it realistic to be doing that each and every month? I would say no, because the markets, you don't know what the market's going to give you. So I think, again, that's a little bit on the rich side. So we just keep working our way up. So, okay, let's say if you had £30,000 now in your trading account and you would still want to make £3,000 a month, that would then obviously bring your monthly return down to 10%. Now, if you've seen any of our testimonials that have been going around recently, Sam's been sending emails out about the new DST, and we had a lovely testimonial from Mark, who's made 30% in literally the first 3 months of this year. But again, so he's done 30% in 3 months, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to do 10% every single month in the year. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could do. It could outperform that even, but it's a difficult thing when you're trying to give advice to people. So what I tend to say to people is, look, if you were looking to make 10% a month is more than achievable. It's 120% a year. It is doable. 100% a year is doable. But what I say to people as an independent investor, if you aimed for 50% a year. Now, a lot of people don't even aim for that, because again, it comes back to how much leverage you're looking to use. So how much you're looking to risk per trade and all of that, and the frequency of your trading. There's so many different variables. Some people are only looking to make 20% a year. On my main accounts, I'm only looking to make 20 to 30% a year on my main pension accounts, because I only take very small risk. I don't need to take high risk anymore. But anyway, so but that whole area around 50% is a nice achievable. If you outperform it, great. If you underperform it by a little bit, fine. But that's a nice rough figure. You might do 40%, you might do 60, you might do 100, you might do 20. Once you're competent, then there's all sorts of numbers that could happen. But anyway, if we use this as a figure, then okay, so we're talking at around about a 4% monthly gain. Right, okay, so we're now talking about a 4% monthly gain, and probably risking 1% per trade, then getting a 4% per month is achievable. And we're talking about averages here. There could be some months which you storm it and other months where you don't make anything or you lose. That's going to happen. So we're talking about as an average. So if we're now talking about an average of 4%, okay, how much therefore do we need to have in our trading account in order to make 30,000? In order to make 3,000 on average. So if my maths are right, you need to have around about £75,000 in your trading account, in order to, so 4% of 75,000 is your £3,000 that you're looking for. Okay, so that would be averaging at 4% a month would be giving you your £3,000. So this sort of gives people a framework, because a lot of the time, especially people who are newer coming into trading, they don't really know and how much they can make, and how much do they want to make an income, do they just want to grow their capital. There's all these different variables, but at least that's giving you an idea as to, okay, how much do I want to make? Okay, roughly, if I wanted to make this amount of money from trading, whether you're going to take it out as an income or you just want to make that type of money, then based on 4% a month, you would need £75,000 in your trading account. Based on generating 10% a month, then of course you would only need £30,000 in your account, and so on and so forth. So yes, is it doable to do 10% a month? Of course, we've got some wonderful testimonials of people who've done some amazing things. But I would always say, well, if we aimed around about that 50% a year, is what gets us back to that 4%. Hopefully that gives you some sort of idea. You can then vary it, around that and say, well, actually, I think I can do more, because, certainly we get people who can do 20% or more regularly out of in a month out of the markets. But I'm just trying to get some sort of average and coming up with some sort of figure based on the fact that I don't know anybody in my audience. And if I said to people 50% in a year, that's a nice target to go for. That works out at 4% a month. Okay, how much do you need in order to be 4% a month was £3,000, then you would need £75,000 in order to do that. Hopefully that gives you some clue there, or some idea. If you're trying to set out any sort of plans on what it is you're trying to achieve, you can say, okay, I can take this figure, or I can take a figure closer to that, or whatever it might be, and come up with some sort of goals there. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you on Friday.